Now that video 26 is completed, I wanted to do a quick test and check this website in multiple browsers to make sure everything's working correctly. When I did that, I did notice a couple things that I wanted to point out how to fix. In my particular case, I've decided to go ahead and support IE7, 8, and the modern browsers Firefox and Chrome. And I noticed a couple minor things on IE7 that I probably should fix. First off, what you're seeing here, just to give you a quick overview, I'm running VMware Fusion, which allows me to run Windows while I run my Mac operating system. And if I try to access the login page from IE7, I get this pop-up, and it'll appear in a second, that indicates that there's an unresponsive script. Here we go. And it asks me if I want to stop running the script. And what I discovered was that running the most recent version of jQuery, which has just recently been released in the last maybe a week or so, which is 1.6, there's some sort of incompatibility between jQuery 1.6 and Colorbox. And apparently the developer of Colorbox is working on a fix, but in case you are having issues specifically with this, it only seems to happen in IE6 and IE7. But if you are having issues with this, here's how to go about fixing it. So I have Forklift open, and this is the program that I use to FTP files and back and forth. So I'm going to go ahead and open up, it's under App, Core, Templates, and I'm going to edit the t_login file. And rather than using the latest version of jQuery, I'm going to specify jQuery 1.5.2.min.js. So I'm going to copy this line, save this file, and do the same thing for t_head. And perhaps this issue won't be a problem. I mean, it's May 7th today, and it's possible by the time you watch this and by the time you download the files, there won't be any compatibility issues, but just thought I'd point it out. So that will fix the alert that we were having. So I'm going to go back there and refresh the page. There we go. So that's working fine. I also did notice an issue here with the login form. Seems to be fine on all other browsers, but IE7 has an issue. So let me go ahead and tweak this input. So I'm going to go to App, Resources, CSS. And I'm going to edit the row here, and I'm going to remove the float left. And instead do overflow hidden, because the two elements within these rows are floated, so I want to make sure the row encloses them properly. There we go. So that's a bit better. And then one other thing, if you click login, you'll notice these error messages have a margin that appears. And again, don't know why it doesn't do it on Firefox, but Firefox doesn't have this issue. So to fix that, I'm going to go back to Coda, edit that CSS file again, and rather than using a margin bottom of 20 pixels, I'll move that and I'll set the rest to 0. And while I'm at it, I'll change the font size to 12 pixels. So let's try IE7 again. And that's a bit better. So I guess the only last thing that I want to cover is this little close button that appears. I'm not sure why it only appears in IE6 and IE7, but to fix that is one other CSS tweak, but this time to the Colorbox CSS within Resources, JavaScript, Colorbox. And In addition to the display none on the CBox close ID, also add a exclamation point and important, and that'll make sure that it's hidden properly. And hang on one second, it looks like my browser froze, unfortunately. Let me see if I can restart it quickly. Yep, so you'll notice we're missing that close button that was there previously. So that's working correctly now. So hopefully those are a couple things that'll fix IE7 compatibility issues for you. I'm not going to go out of my way to fix IE6 issues. There shouldn't be anything too significant, but at this point IE6 is a 10-year-old browser, so if you choose to support it or not, that's up to you. But if you have questions related to IE6 compatibility, you can always email me or contact me in the forums. Email is ben@killersites.com, or on the forums I go by the username as Ben, and you can find those at killersites.com/community.